Some trends that we're seeing nowadays. A couple trends. The net zero trend is obviously a big one. Achieving net zero has been a major item. It's exciting. We're seeing a lot of it happening. And we're working closely with many clients, many First Nation communities as well, to be net zero, what we call net zero ready. So we're targeting 2030, 2035 to get that net zero ready. So it's a trend. We're seeing it on many levels in terms of land development, in terms of construction of buildings, architecture, infrastructure, mobility, roads. It applies to everything we do. So, but if I have to go specifically into the various, industries or sectors that we work within, the energy sector, we do energy, obviously oil and gas and larger infrastructure projects and major projects, but we also do renewable energy. So we do focus on solar and wind power. And so I think the discussions we're going to be seeing out of the FNMPC event next April is going to be important to those individuals and within that group. So we'll be seeing a few of them at the event as well. I also want to say on the land development side, so when it comes to infrastructure, transportation, buildings and architecture, I think those individuals are really keen to see what kind of discussions are happening and how First Nation communities and leaders are brought to the table, how we're getting their consent. I think consent is important, but it's also important to bring them to the table, which obviously FNMPC has been leading and championing. So, but it's also seeing some of those good examples of successful inclusion and successful consent, and even bringing them to the table in terms of equity on some of these larger projects. So it was great, actually. The panels and the discussions, I know it's a broad topic. You can read a lot about it. There's lots of content you can read about it, but sitting there and listening to the panelists, the experts, more importantly, the Indigenous leaders and Indigenous community members speaking about it directly, I think was just, it was really interesting and really intriguing to just sit there and listen to it. So there's 2 days of it. I think I didn't get enough of it. I actually wanted to talk more, and it was splitting the time between watching some of the panel discussions and going out and speaking to some of the direct Indigenous members directly, and some of the discussions and some of the items and some of the challenges they're going through as well. So I'm looking forward to just continue those discussions, and I'm really interested in this one because of the consent and just how we're bringing net zero and bringing in equity and bringing in First Nation inclusion under the auspices of UN DRIP. And so how are we, so I'd like to see how the two items are being brought together, merged together, and how FNMPC has been a critical player in making this happen. So definitely looking forward to it.